What's going on, you guys? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about all things money, stocks, and real estate. Today, I want to talk about the merger of CIIC or CIIG with Arrival Vans, which is coming in early 2021. We saw a massive run up on this stock last night after hours and again in pre-market today. And it's caused by one person saying, look, this is going to be potentially the son or daughter of Tesla. This could be the next big company. So we're going to talk about what you need to know about this company. We're going to jump into the stock price, and we're going to talk about what you need to know about the company, you know, as far as numbers, as far as where they're located, what they're going to be doing. We're going to talk about all of it here on this video here today. So Jim Cramer, very well-known financial analyst, basically said last night, hey, look, this stock has been coming down recently. The share price has been coming down. If it gets down to that $17 mark, definitely buy. Well, as soon as he said that, it just shot up. I mean, it was sitting at around, I think, $20 or so when he made this statement last night after hours, and the share price just absolutely shot up. I think it was up 13% after hours last night, and today it was up almost 40% during pre-market, and then it's kind of come back down. I think it's sitting up 30% on the day from yesterday's close. So absolutely massive gains caused by just one person saying, hey, look, this could be the next big company. This might be something that you want to buy into. So very interesting to see that one person can control the market that much just by what they say. Of course, we already knew that. We knew that there was YouTubers doing the same thing with smaller cap companies, but this is something that's totally different. So I want to jump into the stock price here and actually show you guys a little bit about what we're experiencing and show you that gain itself. So we're here on the Webull platform. If you haven't yet gotten your free stocks using Webull, make sure to do that. There's a link down in the description below. Deposit $100. You'll get, I think, up to 4 stocks right now if you deposit $100. And yeah, it's a great platform. I use their desktop app right here, and I also have the mobile app on my phone as well, and I love it. So let's just jump into this. December 2nd, we're sitting at just under $20 a share. I think it shows right here, yeah, like 1965. So just under $20. Last night, or yesterday, I should say, sorry, we saw an increase of $21.58, and then we just saw this massive shoot up to $28, and that's where it's sitting right now. So like I said, we're up 30% on the day from yesterday's close, up about $6.52. This merger is supposed to be coming in early 2021. We're going to jump into the other chart here, or the other page, and actually look at some of their financials, what they're planning to do, what sets them apart. We're going to look at everything here, basically. So I just want to show you guys this massive, change here, right? So we had big volume back here. If we actually zoom out a little bit, let me go back to the 1 month chart. So you can see that this is, that is not what I want. Here we go. So you can see there was a massive run up, starting November 17th, just like a lot of other companies, came up to a high of about $27 on November 24th, and then started selling off from there, dropping all the way to about $20, just under $20, right, on the 2nd, and now jumping back up to that new high. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where this goes over the next couple of days. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I don't know. It's going to be, tough to call. I think it could, I think there will be some people who take profits, and I think there will be some people who continue to buy in just based off of Jim Cramer's financial blessing. So anyways, with that being said, let's jump over to the actual investor part and talk about some of this stuff that we've seen here. So on November 18th, this is when they actually entered into the business combination agreement. The transaction is expected to close in Q1 2021, and the new company Arrival Group will be listed on the NASDAQ. At least that's what's anticipated. Transaction implies a fully diluted pro forma enterprise value of $5.39 billion, which is based on just under 0.4x of 2024 estimated revenues of $14.1 billion. Now I've got some notes pulled up on my phone just to kind of give you some estimates, what this compares. Is 14.1 billion a lot? Is it not a lot? What did Tesla do, right? Tesla's kind of the benchmark. Everybody likes to compare to Tesla, finding out what they did because they just have such a big lead. They've been through this before. They already know what's going on in the market, and so they have a huge head start when it comes to this stuff. So just for reference, Tesla did $24.6 billion of revenue in 2019. So this shows you just how big of a gap there is. Arrival is planning to do 14 billion in 4 years, or let's say, 4 years by the time 2024 is over. We're just barely getting into 2021. So you've got 21, 22, 23, and 24. That's 4 years out before they're going to do 14 billion. Well, Tesla did 24.6 billion a year ago, and they're just barely getting started. So I think that still shows good signs that, hey, there's a lot of, there's a big market for this, but it does show that, hey, Arrival is going to be, pretty far behind. That's why they've only got a valuation of roughly $5 billion right now, and Tesla's got a valuation of $500 billion. So it makes sense in the share price, right? But just kind of shows you a little bit of a difference there. And the transaction is expected to result in $660 million of total proceeds to raise fund growth. So this is one of their big factors that sets Arrival apart, is they're going to plan to have a exclusive contract with UPS. They've got $1.2 billion in orders, which is 10,000 vehicles from UPS. They've already had a prototype going for the last couple of years, and UPS has said, hey, let's do this. Let's see if we can get 10,000 vehicles going, by the time they start producing them, which is going to be the end of next year. And they're actually going to start with this bus here first, and then the vans will come right after that. So they've got $1.2 billion in orders waiting. That's 10,000 vehicles. And then they've got UPS has an option for another 10,000 vehicles as well. So talking a little bit more about the revenue, before I jump onto that, revenue for Arrival, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to do $1 billion in 2022, $5 billion in 2023, and then that $14 billion in 2024. 50% of that revenue is going to come from these vans, and they're expecting roughly 25% to come from the buses, which would be good for city spaces, for city governments and stuff like that, right? Public transportation. This is talking a little bit more about their partnership. So they've obviously got the $1.2 billion in orders from UPS, like we just talked about. They've got delivery of prototypes starting in 2020, and they've had this trial partnership since 2016. UPS has an automotive fleet size of 120,000 vehicles. So this means that there could be 12 times, if this works out for UPS might say, hey, we're all in. They might order 12 times the amount of vehicles for their entire fleet size and just go all in on this, which could be a massive order for Arrival. I mean, that would be over, 15 billion or so of, revenue just from UPS. So massive potential there. We're not even talking about FedEx. We're not even talking about, DHL or anything like that. Of course, Amazon, this compares to Amazon with their 100,000 vehicle order from Rivian, which absolutely blows us out of the water, right? Amazon says, hey, we're going to buy 100,000, but I believe, I'll have to double check, but I believe the terms of that deal were that they would buy 100,000 by 2030. I think that's what I saw. So, obviously it's over a much longer time span, but still 100,000 vehicles, that's tough to beat. So Arrival also has some investments from Hyundai and Kia Motors. Hyundai owns a major stake in Kia, so they're kind of the same company in some respects, but they invested $100 million into the business. And it just has some notes here. Hyundai Motors is one of the largest global OEMs. They've got, brands include Hyundai Motors and Kia Motors, and they want to become the top 3 EV manufacturer by 2025. All right, so here's a little bit of explanation about what they're going to build. So they've got the electric bus coming late next year, electric van right after that. Then they've got a larger version of the van coming just after that in 2022. And then they're going to build this small vehicle in 2023. So those are going to be their 4 main designs. The other thing that they're toting here is that they also have a lower cost of ownership compared to other competitors. So when it comes to the Arrival van, they're estimating a total cost of ownership to be about $92,000. Which is compared to $111,000 for a diesel van or $127,000 for a competitor's e-van, right? When it comes to the bus side, massive difference here. I mean, 47 to 50% improvement. Arrival bus, they're estimating about $400,000. That's pretty crazy that a bus costs that much, compared to a diesel bus of $752,000 for the cost of ownership, given 250 kilometers per day, 365 days per year over the course of 10 years. So this is a massive improvement. I mean, 47% in just this little range here. That's going to save a lot of cities, a lot of governments, a lot of money. So people are going to be really happy about that. And of course, they're going to want to make this change so long as these numbers actually hold true. So that's really interesting to see there. The next thing, here's a quick little glimpse of what the UPS van will look like. The other cool thing about this is that UPS and Arrival have actually made these vans specific to the specs that UPS wants. So there's a little bit more space inside, and it's going to be a little bit easier for them to actually use these vans, because UPS knows right down to the inch how they want things sorted, what space they need, how big the boxes are on average. I mean, they know every single detail of their business. So being able to create a van custom to what they need is going to be huge for them. As soon as they get this dialed in, there's no way they're ever leaving. So this is going to be massive for UPS. And the other cool thing too If we come down here, I mean, look at this. It looks kind of just like a Tesla inside, actually, which is really cool. I really like the look of it. I think it looks sleek. And just imagine, you know, once they get autopilot on this thing, you get autopilot on this, the delivery guy can be in the back sorting boxes or whatever. He's going to be able to deliver 10, 15, 20% more boxes because he's not going to have to be doing the driving or, you know, whatever. He's going to be able to be in the back getting the next package ready for the next house to run it up to the doorstep and actually deliver it or whatever. So that's a massive improvement as well. I think there's a huge potential for this. I'm really excited about it. The buses are really cool too. I think that kind of is self-explanatory. A lot of cities will definitely be picking this up. E-buses have already been popular in China for a number of years now, but in, you know, America, Canada, Europe, they're just kind of, you know, they've been slowly rolling out. They're not very popular, but I think as soon as we get something that's like large scale like this, I definitely think you'll see a lot more of them start popping up over the next little bit. The other thing I want to talk about on Arrival is their micro factories. So one of the things that Arrival says that they can do better than anybody else is that they say they can make micro factories, which are basically these smaller factories that can use existing warehouse space and basically put in a micro factory that can be up and running much quicker than a normal factory would be. They say they can get these up and running in about 6 months for about $50 million compared to, you know, other factories that take 12, 24, 36 months to build, and they take, you know, billions of dollars. Again, just for reference, Giga Shanghai, the Tesla factory that was built in China, it cost $2 billion to construct, and it was actually built in 10 months. You know, those guys in China, they've got it figured out. They really know how to build something quickly. It's pretty insane they can build something that big in 10 months. So Arrival says, hey, look, we can do this in an existing warehouse space. We're basically going to come in, we'll rent the space, we'll bring in all the machinery and basically just set it up to get us up and going. We can do that in about 6 months, and it's only going to cost us about $50 million. This gives them a lot more flexibility over the long run where they can actually go in, you know, start building in one space, and then maybe they find out, hey, the demand is not great in this space. They can, you know, move away from that if they need to a different location and be more mobile. Not saying that they're going to do that, but when you build a $2 billion factory, you don't have that flexibility, right? If you're only in at 50 million, well, it's a little bit easier to kind of get out and do something different. If they find out, hey, a lot of our deliveries are going to be in, you know, let's say New York, right? In these big cities or whatever for all these delivery vans, that might be where they want to be closer to. And so maybe they make that move. I don't know if it makes sense for a factory, you know, where they're just going to build it and then ship it out to the location. But again, it's just a theory here that I want to talk about. So these mini factories are actually pretty cool. I mean, you can see like this shipping yard in the back, how big this is. These are all semi trucks here. And I mean, just look at how big that is compared to like this one that they're basically showing in Rock Hill. So pretty impressive there. That's one of the cool things about Arrival. They're saying, look, we're going to be able to set this up a lot quicker. Oh, here we go. Of course, they're going to be able to build less, right? They're going to say, okay, we're only doing 10,000 vans per year, which is going to be you know, compared to an OEM factory for Volkswagen in Poland, which does 100,000 vans per year. It's going to take 10 factories to be able to produce the same amount. But look at what they're saying here. They're saying the factory size is going to be 200,000 square meters. I think this is actually per factory. No, actually it's not. So one factory is going to be is 20,000 square meters. So total factory size, 200,000 versus 2.2 million. So that's pretty, pretty insane there. CapEx is over half, operating expenditures is over half, and time to open new factory for each one is 6 months compared to a total of 36 months for the factory in Poland. This is a major stock. I am an investor in this. I think there's going to be a huge opportunity with the buses. I think the vans. I think the fact that they're focusing on this commercial space exclusively is going to give them a huge leg up and will actually help them dominate in that commercial space. So I'm really excited about where this company is going to go. I would not be surprised if this turns into a 20, 30, 40, $50 billion company over the next, 4, 5, 6 years. So I'm going to be holding on to what I've got. I still think it's a few years out. They're not even producing revenue or even vehicles to this moment. So it's definitely a long-term play, but I'm definitely an investor. I've got a very, very small position in this company. And who knows, after looking into this a little bit deeper, I might buy back in. If the price drops back down, I might kind of nibble in, and hopefully I was wishing it would get down lower so I could increase my position, but here we are. So anyways, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click that bell to get notified when I release these new videos. I've been talking about stocks a lot just because I've been on a huge tear learning about these companies and just sharing some of the excitement around them, but I do talk about all things money, stocks, and real estate here on the channel, so don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up here on the video if you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you in the next one.